All right, me and my doggo here are going to be covering the new SMMA hybrid AI service delivery model that I created and I'm currently using in my own agencies. And really, I'm just going to be breaking down how you can actually get good results for your clients and how you can charge more money, keep your clients longer, and as a result, make your company more profitable. Okay, because we all know that the size of the problem you solve is a direct correlation to how much money you can charge. And so the bigger the problem, the more money you can charge. And I'm also going to touch on guarantees and stuff like that as well. And so let's kind of dive right in, and we're going to dissect this entire Miro board one by one to share with you everything that you can do to get your clients better results. So most agencies just do this. They just do the ads. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that some people don't even do the offer. They just do, hey, we'll make your ads, we'll make your copy, and we'll run your ads for you. We'll get you some leads, and we'll pity-do-pity-do. Now, the reason why this doesn't work is for a multitude of reasons. But the number one reason why this doesn't work is you have no control. Okay, you have no control over the results. You have no control of the inputs. You have no control on what's happening other than the fact that you can get them leads. But guess what? Leads does not equal money. And people only care about money. And so if you're not making them money, they don't care and they don't value your service. And so unless you have someone who's super understanding and only cares about leads and knows that if you get them 20 leads, they're going to close 20 deals, most people won't find this offer very appealing. And so what we want to do, and Sam Evans made a really good video on this called Eating Your Customers' Complexity, is take up more of the problem, take more of the ownership, more of the responsibility. Because the more responsibility you take for what you're doing for your clients, the more direct impact you'll have. And so if you take on, like imagine if this is, we'll just say metaphorically, this is a cake, right? And you only take this much slice of the cake, you only influence about 20% of the results, aka not much. But if you were to take up this much of the cake, let's say this is 80%, do you see how much more chance you have at getting results? You now have 80% control over the results. When you control the results more, you are more likely to get them better results. When you get better results, you can charge more money. Okay, and you can charge more money because not only do you make them more money, but you also take on more ownership, and so you can charge more because you're doing more. And so there's every incentive for you to do more, which we're going to cover in a second here, but this is because the more you do, the bigger the problem you solve because the more you're actually doing for the client, but also the more likely you will be to get results because you're the one taking the ownership. And so now instead of having to rely, because imagine this. Right, let's just say in a typical agency, right, you run the ads, you get the leads, okay, you sell them, and then you service them. And most people only cover this part, which is, hey, we'll run the ads for you. They don't really care about getting the leads or selling them or servicing them or even retaining them. They just focus on this. And that's why their service isn't very valuable. And as a result, they have very low LTV, right? And very high churn because people don't see the value in their service. And people are always going to blame, right? And so even though you may be getting them good leads and running good ads with good results, right, and good metrics, the person won't care because at the end of the day, what do they care about? They care about this. How many sales are they making? How much money are they making? If they're not making money because they're not good at selling, they'll just blame you and cut you off because they're spending money on you. And so this way, imagine instead of just running the ads, you took over the leads, you took over the sales, you took over the servicing, and you took over the retaining. Like imagine how much you could charge for that. You're basically running their business for them. You could charge a buttload of money for this. And so the point is, how can we get closer to this sort of model while still being profitable ourselves? And so that's what I'm going to cover. So instead of just doing what every basic agency does, which is creative and copy, and in this case, maybe not even offer, but I recommend you do help your clients create an offer. Why? Most people's offer suck. And most people also charge way too little. And so if you can help them create a better offer and charge more, not only are they going to make more money, but they're also going to see more results. And as a byproduct of that, probably be more profitable. And then once again, this all relates back to you, right? They're all going to give you the credit because you said, hey, instead of charging 1K, you should charge 5K. And now if you actually, once again, If you're not just running the ads, we're also helping them get leads, sell leads, and even maybe retain. So you're helping them sell the 5K, and now you help them sell 5K instead of 1K. They're going to credit that back to you because you're the one helping them do that, which once again means your service is more valuable, okay? Because you're taking over more ownership. So the whole point of this is just one thing. I'll type this out actually. Wow, we can't even see this. Eat your customer's complexity. I know that doesn't spell at all, but you get the point. Eat your customer's complexity. Do more for your customers, okay? Because when you do more, not only can you charge more, but you also get better results, okay? You get better results. And when you get better results, it goes back to this, okay? So I hope this makes sense. So here we go. Instead of just running the ads, okay, which is making the offer the creative the copy, which I'll show you how to do in a second and give you some cheat codes as well. Here's the next thing we're going to do. We're also going to help them with their funnel. All right, and I guess when I say offer, in the offer is obviously what the offer is, the pricing, and the framing. Okay, so you're also going to help them with this. You're also going to, instead of just coming in to run ads, you're going to become like a general business consultant almost. So instead of just saying, hey, we're going to run your ads, you're going to come and say, hey, we're going to change this offer and do this, and we're going to sell this high ticket package instead of those, and we're going to change it from a one-time fee to a recurring fee so you can have recurring clients, so you can retain them, so you can make more money, become more profitable, yada, yada, yada. That's some stuff you're going to do, okay? And since you're the one selling it, you're going to make the offer that you're going to be selling. It works really, really, really well, okay? So you're going to make the ads. You're going to set the ads. You're going to launch the ads. Now, when you launch the ads, you're also going to create the funnel. And so the funnel, right, is an opt-in. You're going to make an opt-in page where you're going to start to collect leads. You're going to turn these leads into calls because you're going to call them. Okay, you or your team, preferably right here, you have an ISA, right, that goes in here and calls these leads. You have an ISA team, goes in, calls the leads. Okay, this ISA goes in, they pre-qualify the leads, they nurture the leads, and they book the leads in right onto your customer's calendar, right onto your client's calendar for an estimate or whatever kind of service they have, right? Maybe it's an estimate, maybe it's a quote, maybe it's an appointment, whatever the case may be. But once again, we're taking over more of this. Now, if you want to get really advanced, instead of booking them in onto their calendar, you book them in onto your own sales calendar that you have. Maybe you have a sales team for your customer. You go in and sell the client on behalf of your customer. Once again, doing more for your prospect. But we want to take over the funnel. All right, instead of just sending them leads and say, hey, figure it out, we're going to take over. So instead of having to rely on the client who's never going to call them within the first couple minutes of the lead opting in, we're going to take ownership. We're going to have our team call them within the first couple minutes. And as a result, we're going to book more calls. We're going to take more ownership. We're going to let the person do what they wanted to do. Right? Let's say if you work with realtors, when a realtor went to realtor school, they went there because they wanted to become a realtor. Okay? They didn't want to become an appointment setter. They didn't want to become an ad manager, okay? They didn't want to become an influencer. They didn't want to become an offer creator. They didn't want to become a funnel builder. They didn't want to become a content creator. They didn't want to become a SEO wizard. And so basically what you're saying is, hey, we're going to do all this for you. We will set the appointments. We will create the offer. We will build the funnels. We will do the optimization. Okay, and we'll do everything for you so you can do the one thing which you actually wanted to and signed up for, which is be a realtor, which is talk to the people we book on your calendar and help them buy or sell their home. And this works in every niche, right? Let's say if we're working with roofers, same concept. You became a roofer because you wanted to work on roofs, not because you wanted to become a marketer and run ads and build offers and post content and do this and do this and do that. Okay, you want to be a roofer to install roofs. And so we're going to let you do what you signed up for by taking care of everything on the front end, from finding the people to qualifying the people to getting them to pay you money. That's the way you frame this offer. I'll touch a little bit more on this in a second. Okay, so that's the funnel part of this. Now, here's the back end, which not many people talk about. Some people kind of do this. They maybe do some ads. They maybe do some funnel, but they kind of stop here. We're not going to stop here. We're going to take it a step further because a lot of the opt-ins don't book a call. They don't actually close. And so we're going to create them newsletters, content, and AI follow-ups to nurture, once again, AI, to nurture these leads and get them to book in later. So instead of just getting these leads and saying, here, figure it out, we're going to say, hey, not only are we going to get these leads for you, we're also going to sell the leads, but the leads we don't sell, we're going to follow up with on your behalf so you don't have to do anything and get them to keep booking on your calendar on a consistent basis. See how this offer is so much better? See how you control the results? See how you can make so much more money with this because you're taking over way more ownership? And yes, it's more work, of course, but you can charge way more money for this and you're way more likely to get better results because you're doing all the work. And when you get better results, clients stay longer. And when clients stay longer, you make more money and you become more profitable because you don't have to keep spending money to acquire new customers. That's why the system works so well. Okay? And so, yeah, it's a bit more work, but it's worth it. Okay? So, newsletter, content, AI follow-ups. Right? Once again, you're going to take over all this stuff. Now, granted, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to do content if your person doesn't really want to be on camera at all, but just different ideas of things you can do that can increase the likelihood that the business becomes more successful. Now, on the back end, right, after the newsletter, after the content, after the follow-up, some bonus stuff you're going to do for them to make them even more money and take over even more ownership to just make them more money is database reactivation campaign, right? From all these opt-ins or from all these bookings you get that do close or don't close, in the future you're going to run a huge database reactivation campaign to get all those old leads re-upped, re-alived, whatever you want to call them. You give them a little potion. Okay, we level them up. Okay, we book them back in. SEO, we're going to make them rank higher so people can search for them easier and find them better, right? Maybe we optimize their Google. We're going to do some reputation management. Make sure they have lots of Google reviews. Make sure that their Facebook page looks good. Making sure that I don't have any bad posts about them on social media, right? Reputation management. Content, right? Once again, we're going to put some content on their Facebook page because it'll make their ads more profitable because now someone maybe clicks their profile instead of clicking on the ad. Now they see a bunch of content. They're like, wow, look at all these before and afters. Look at all this work they've done. Look at all these stories about them. Look at their crew. Wow, these people are actually good. Boom. Way more likely to book. Okay, we're going to take over more of this extra stuff once again. Okay, to take the workload off them, to put it on us, and this is all done to make them more money. And last thing is optimization, right? We're going to optimize their website. We're going to optimize their offers. We're going to optimize their pricing. We're going to optimize the way they do business. We can even optimize their team. We're going to optimize everything about their business to make sure there's a higher chance that they make more money after working with us. Okay? And so the other really cool thing about this is people become dependent on you. Dependent, however you spell that word. Okay? They become dependent. Why? Because you're doing everything for them, right? Their ads, you own. Their CRM, you own. Their website, you host it. Right? You don't have to do this. I'm just giving you an example. Their funnel, you own. All right? Their sales team, you own. Right? Their content creation, you own, right? Their SEO ranking, you own. You see how it's sort of for people to churn from this? When you do everything for someone in a business, it's hard for them to leave because you're doing everything. The only reason why someone would leave is if you're not getting results, which means that you suck at what you do, because if you are doing all this stuff, you're taking over control over the entire business like this, and you're still not getting them results, there's something wrong with you, which means you have to reanalyze and you have to get better. Okay, but if you're doing all this stuff and it's working well, no one's ever going to want to churn because you're most likely making them way more money than they could ever pay you. And therefore, they will continue to do this because it's like putting $1 in a machine and getting $10 out. Everyone would just do this infinitely until it stopped giving them $10. Like, you would literally keep doing this, even if it was, hey, put in a mil, make 10 mil. Everyone on the planet Earth would do this so long as it kept giving them 10 mil. As a matter of fact, they probably do this so long as it kept giving them a positive ROI, right? You put in a mil and you make 1.1 mil and you had to do nothing. That's pretty good. You made an extra 100 grand for doing nothing. And so as long as there's a positive ROI here, people will probably keep doing it, okay? Because it makes financial sense for them. So this is the system. Now I want to talk about the framing of this offer because a lot of people get kind of caught up in, well, how do I frame this offer? Well, like this. So when you're talking to your prospects, you basically say this. Okay, so not only are we actually going to go in and become a partner in your business, you can say this metaphorically to make them feel like that you're actually going to work with them, right? So not only are we going to come in, we're going to research your niche. We're going to create your offer, your ads, your copy, your funnel. We're also going to call every single lead, qualify them, book them right in for an estimate. All you have to do is show up and do what you do best. We also follow up and nurture every single lead that does not convert. So the only thing that you ever have to do after working with us is do what you signed up for in the first place, which is go to listing appointments, build the roofs, build the countertops. No more, wearing 7 different marketing hats, being an influencer, an ad manager, an SEO person, a Google person. No, you can focus on what you do best, and we'll take care of everything else. Okay, you see how powerful that offer is? Because now instead of just saying, "Hey, we're gonna run ads for you," it's like, "Hey, we'll do everything. We'll take care of everything on the front end, so that you can just focus on what you signed up for in the first place." Now, some tools you can use to make this easier. Obviously, go level, right? Like, especially for this AI nurturing in the back end, newsletter, posting content, AI follow-ups with some automations and stuff can all be done via go level. Okay, and once again, this gives you more ownership because you control the go level accounts. Some other things you can use is Claude, right? And so what you can use Claude for is building offers, writing copy, headlines, templates, etc. So a really good example of this is, let's say if you work with roofers. I'll give you a live example. Hey, I work with roofers and just signed a guy in Arizona. I'm making this up because I know nothing about roofing, at least not as much as normal roofers do. Signed a guy in Arizona. He sells roofs for $5,000 and works only with vets. Create a front end offer we can use on our Facebook ads to get our ideal customer to click and get a free quote. Also, pretend you are Russell Brunson and Alex Hormoz. I'm doing this to give it context of who I want it to mimic. Okay, so boom, we're gonna send this bad boy in. The reason why we're using Claude is it's better for marketing, and so here we go. Now this is just such an example. I don't even know if it'll be good. 10 Arizona veterans, your 5,000 heroes roof awaits. What if you could get a brand new military grade roof installed for just $5K? As a veteran myself, I know 2 things. You're better than sky high quotes. Your home deserves boom, boom. For a limited time, veteran owned, your company's offering. Boom, boom, boom. Why are we doing this? Claim. Like, look at this. Awesome. Write me a quick headline for my landing page. 2. Okay, so also going to get a quick headline for a landing page. This is an example, right? Skip the total under quote the roofs give you and get your home return for just $5K. Like, here, you could say, give me more that sell the free estimate and really lean into the veteran only offer. As like, see, just as an example to show you what this could look like. Okay. So these are just examples. And see how this can just go on and on. You can just keep giving it more context and keep asking for more things. But you can see how, some of these, and you can, brothers in arms, like veteran, your free roofing session is waiting. And you can give it different people, right? Instead of like, hey, instead of being Hermosi, pretend you are so-and-so. Pretend you are Ravi Abula. Pretend you are insert whatever name you want to give it context. Now, what you can do after this is if you want to get even more, high-tech with this in AI is now write me a video script for to film to get these home owners to click the link and get a quote. Okay. So now, obviously, like if I were you, I'd put a lot more time into this. But here, like here's just an example, right, of a video script. And so you could give this to your client, and or the best way to do this is just cut out this, paste this in a quick little Google Doc, cut out all this stuff, copy this until it's good. So you're going to copy this script, and then you're going to head over to Creatify. And you're going to go into Creatify, and you can go in here, and this is like an AI UGC, like create your first ad for free. It's like an AI UGC ad creator. There's also a few other ads, like Arc Ads, I think, has another one like this as well, where you can plug in, you can literally drop this script in, drop it in here, and you'll get ads made for you. And so now, instead of having to rely on your customer, okay, to send you a bunch of creatives and stuff. You can just go in there and make creatives for them. Now, some tips on how to figure out what ads to do. We'll keep this roofing theme going. Oh, look at that, roofing jobs. Actually, we don't want roofing jobs. We want roofing. Ooh. Quote. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what kind of ads. This is how to make good ads. You just go in the Facebook ad library. Ideally, go to filters, make sure they're active, and I like to do something that has been running. Wow, this is going to take us a hot minute. 2025. I want something that has been running. We can do whatever since 2023 up till the 1st. Okay, so here you can see ads that have been running for longer than 2 weeks because the ads that are still up are probably doing well. Okay, so this is running. These have all been running since April 1st. It is currently April 17th. So these have all been running more than 2 weeks. So we know that people are spending budget on them and probably seeing good results. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't keep these running. And so if we just go look, we can start to look at some of these sort of what people are running. Gold Coast homeowners. All right, we just start to look at some ads. Okay, look at this.
A new roof for $8,999 plus a free gutter cleaning in Texas. Yes. J.W. Duke Construction.
Like here, this is just a nice AI ad, right, with some B-roll. You could easily go in and copy this, right? Just copy the transcript, plug in your own B-roll, and away you go. Let's see. There's another version of this.
A new roof for $7,990.
Look at this. So, okay. So this is a really this is a phenomenal example. This is just a great example. So look at this. These two ads are both run by the same agency for different companies, as you can tell. Rare Construction LLC and JW Duke Construction, two totally different companies. Okay, but as you can see, if we just listen to that again.
A new roof for $8,999.
New roof for $8,999. You see this bald guy, looks like Jason Statham, whatever his face is. Okay, and we will listen to this.
A new roof for $7,999.
Same thing. Same thing. All it did was tweak the offer based on the client. That's all they did. And as you can see, it's been running since the 1st. There's multiple versions of it. We can safely assume this ad is running well. And so we can just go in and do is copy the transcript, go and plug it into Claude, go put in our offer, make it sound a bit better. This guy's using the same B-roll, right, for every ad, so clearly it's working. Copy that and put it out ourselves. Good artists copy, great artists steal. Right? This guy probably copied it from someone else. This is just how advertising works, is you get inspiration from other people and then you test and test and test, iterate upon this. Right? And you can look at this copy. I know, for roof, that's crazy. Roofs are like 50K usually, right? Sort of, but not really. Like this is like a really interesting kind of copy as well. Right? Click here and let's talk now. Right? Once again, going back to the whatchamacallit, right? Call to action. Okay, but you can just go look at these. Go look at some statics. Right? Maybe if you know this is run by an agency and they're probably spending a lot of money on this, you can go to this advertiser and see what kind of other ads they're running. Oops. Now we're going to go to his Facebook page. I'm good. We won't do that. My computer's lagging a bit. It's old. Whatever. You could go to his page and you could go find the other ads that he's running. And you could see like what other ads is this agency running that might be working. Okay, let's see. What is this?
Don't wait until a small...
Wow. Okay, that was loud.
You a Baton Rouge homeowner with the roof 15 years or older,
right.
and
This is just, you can keep scrolling through this and start to kind of find out, like you start to see some repeating ads, some ads that are looking pretty good, and you can take the best ones, copy them, put your own little spin on it, and then go run it from there. Okay, but if I want to go back to this, like I just want to put a huge emphasis on this. Obviously, this stuff matters a lot, but just know the more you do, the better results you're going to get for your clients. And the more you do, the more you can guarantee. And the more you can guarantee, the more likelihood people will spend more money with you because there is a better guarantee. It's just how it works. And people will also believe the guarantee more the more work you do. And so a lot of people are out here guaranteeing like, oh, well, we'll scale your company to 100K per month. And it's like, how? It's like, oh, we'll just run your ads. And like any smart person will understand that running ads does not equal 100K per month. Why? Because there's so many other things that have to go right after running the ads, right? You have to get the leads. You have to call the leads. You have to book the leads, okay? You have to close the leads. and then you have to collect the cash. There's so many things that could just go wrong and instantly throw this guarantee on its head. And so all you can, like, the only thing you can guarantee is what you have control over. And so if you're going to guarantee someone 100K a month, you better have control over everything that gets you 100K a month, which is the ads, which is the leads, which is the calls, right? Which is the follow-ups, and it also is the sales. If you do all this for them, now when you guarantee them 100K, it makes way more sense because, like, hey, we take care of everything that gets you 100K. We'll get you there because we're closing the deals. We're doing everything. But if you just say to someone, like, imagine if you guaranteed someone, hey, you'll lose 20 pounds. How? Oh, well, I'm just going to give you this workout program and you're going to follow it. Unlikely. But imagine if you said you're going to lose 20 pounds. How? Well, I'm going to go into your, like, imagine if we lived in a world where you could go in someone's body and live as them for 2 months. I'm going to go in your body and live as you for 2 months. I'm going to work out, eat all the proper food to eat it, lose your 20 pounds, and give you the body back. That's like, wow. I believe that offer, and you'd probably pay a lot more money for that. Why? Because there's a higher likelihood that they succeed. It's the same with agencies and stuff, right? The more you offer, the more likely someone is to believe that your offer is going to work, and therefore they'll believe your guarantee more and pay you more money for it because they're more likely to believe the offer. I'll give you one last example, okay? 2 companies, company number A and company number B. They both guarantee the company gets to 1 million. Company number A just runs ads. Company number B creates the offer, runs the ads, calls the leads, sells the leads, and then hands them off. Which company are you more likely to believe is going to get you to 1 mil? This company. Okay? Imagine if this company cost 10K and this company cost 20K. Which one would you still rather spend money on? Probably this one, even though it's double. Why? Because you're more likely to believe it's actually going to work because they're doing more. And so you feel like you're more likely to get here and you're getting more of your money's worth. Alrighty? So, that is kind of an overview. I know we kind of did a lot here of this new hybrid AI service delivery model. As you can see, there's a lot of hybrid AI things we added in here, right? With the offers, with the creative, with the copy, with the opt-in, with the newsletter, with even the content you can make AI with content, with the follow-ups. There's so many things you can include AI in where it's necessary. So, yeah, that is the new hybrid AI model I'm using from our own agency that's ripping and allowing us to close very, very big ticket deals. As you can see, and scale really fast because you're signing very high ticket clients who are very serious. So that is that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this and can use this to get your clients better results.